Tonight, we're catching up with the family in Chattanooga's South Side years after they learned their property tested for high levels of lead.
The mother of the family there tells us she has some concerns of the same concerns today that she was carrying 4 years ago. EPA's focus on removing lead contamination from 8 neighborhoods, and hundreds of South Side residents continue to wait for changes the EPA says they plan to make to their cleanup and testing process.
Well, tonight we're hearing from Tara Duncan Rodriguez. News Channel 9's Lily Butler brings us that conversation and her continuing reporting on the lead cleanup in Chattanooga's South Side. Lily.
Yeah, Kim and Josh, this map shows the 8 neighborhoods inside the boundary of the Chattanooga South Side lead site. And one family who lived right here in Highland Park since 2006 says they were exposed to lead in their yard for years before it was cleaned up. And now they continue to wonder if that exposure contributed to health issues.
As a mother, I've always had it in the back of my mind that the exposure from the lead contributed to her ADHD in some kind of way.
Tara Duncan Rodriguez says her daughter Elizabeth spent a lot of time playing in the yard of their Highland Park home.
Lead is a neurotoxin, and it can have impacts such as development, IQ, behavior.
Dr. Dawn Ford is a UTC professor with a public health background and has been involved with the Southside Chattanooga lead cleanup since 2011.
It impacts children more than adults because they're growing and developing.
In 2021, when Elizabeth was 4 years old, the Environmental Protection Agency remediated their soil, which tests showed had lead contamination levels of 522 parts per million, nearly 200 ppm above the threshold for cleanup.
CDC considers no level of lead in blood to be safe because as time has gone on, we found that lower and lower concentrations in blood still have health impacts.
That's something Tara was worried about back in 2021 when she says Elizabeth started acting differently.
Tantrums, screaming and yelling around the house.
5 years later,
it became more complex, and she became more hyper and disorganized and short attention span.
Tara says they're still working to find out if years of lead exposure contributed to Elizabeth's struggles.
Tomorrow, she actually has an appointment with her primary care physician.
Tara calls this a long journey for her family, and it's one that's still not over as they continue to do cleanup in Chattanooga neighborhoods.
At one time, I was angered at myself. Is there something that I could have done? But then there was nothing that I could have done because I was uninformed.
And Dr. Ford says for anyone who's concerned about their child's exposure to lead, the health department does blood lead level tests. Josh.
Okay, Lily, thank you. EPA has disposed of more than 220,000 tons of soil since they started cleanup efforts back in 2019.